You guys have been asking for it, Victoria. You've been asking for it every single video for like 13 now. And it's finally here. Now talking about all the different trades that you guys think that could potentially happen in the next few months with the Vancouver Canucks. We did this before. A lot of people really enjoyed the video, so we're going to be throwing it back once again right now. So let's cut this off right off the bat. The Vancouver Canucks get Horvat, and the Islanders get Chytil, Mancini, and a 2027 first. So right off the bat, it's a 2027 first. So obviously he knows that the 2026 is basically, we're not throwing that away unless it's protected 100%. 2027, I'm hearing, is not as deep of a draft. And Chytil has a lot of concussion issues. Mancini is a big, strong right-handed defenseman. He's a really good skater as well. But, you know, I don't think the Islanders would trade Horvat. He's a leader there. They're kind of going like this like weird retooling, rebuilding now. I wonder what they're going to do now, considering they had just had that amazing draft, right? So it's going to be fascinating to see. I think the Islanders wouldn't go out and do this personally. I just don't see that happening. JP Pajot for Nils Hoglander in a third-round pick because we have surplus on the left wing. Well, I don't know if that's true. We did lose Joshua now, right? So actually, I think our left side is a little bit weak. Personally, Hoglander has a lot of talent, a lot of potential still. Would you trade him right now? I think you gotta kind of see what he's gonna have. I don't know. Like, let's see. JP here, he had 14 goals, 28 assists, 42 points last year. He was a center, which is important. We are looking for a center, and he plays the right side as well. I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't do this trade. Also, you get a third-round draft pick. I wouldn't do this trade. Doesn't really move the needle for me. Hoglander has too much potential. I would pass on this. The line change. Lekkerimaki and Chytil, and a 2026 first for Nietzsche. So, personally, again, it's important to state if it's a protected 2026 first. I'm just going to just say it's protected just for conversation's sake, because if it's unprotected, there's no way in hell I'm doing any trade unless it's for like someone ridiculous. Now, Nietzsche's a good player. He's a really good player. Fast guy. Canucks have been trying to chase him for a little while now. Lekkermaki's a sniper. He's a prospect. He had an okay prospect showcase. I would say better than average, but I still think he needs some time. And Chytil, we talked a little bit about him. He has a lot of concussion history. He's more like just to move the cap in that direction. I think this trade favors Vancouver in total. But again, do you really want to give away that 2026 unprotected first? I just don't want to do that. But they obviously get the best player in this deal. I don't see them going out and doing this either. So it's a weird one. It's kind of hard to kind of talk about it. This one over here from the line change again is actually interesting because he mentioned Larkin instead for Chytil, 2026 first. Now, this is one, if it's unprotected and they actually had this on the thing, I would legitimately think about it because I'm a huge Larkin fan. That being said, I just don't see any chance Detroit goes out and does this. Larkin is way too good of a hockey player for this deal, even if it is an unprotected first, unless we already know who we got from the first rounder, then maybe. But I just don't see that personally happening. Here's a funny one from Dom. Pettersson, plus 3 first rounders. Holy shit. For Jack and Luke Hughes. Oh boy. Okay. It's not going to happen. Right off the bat. That's not happening. 3 first rounders. Holy crap. Listen, I think value-wise, it's fine when it comes to, like, I think New Jersey would probably, wouldn't they bite the bullet on this? Petey, and Marcus, like, they get a top, potential top center, a decent defenseman, second pairing defenseman, and a really high potential second, maybe even first line pairing defender. 3 unprotected first round draft picks for Jack and Luke Hughes. Okay, I don't even know, man. Like, I would just say they both kind of say no to this. But hey, this probably means that Quinn Hughes would stay. So it would be Quinn Hughes, Jack Hughes, and Luke Hughes in that scenario. What a crazy trade. I don't know value-wise how this one would go. I'm just going to go out and say no because it's just so unrealistic. Interesting one. That's the comment sections are going to love that one. All right, from Zach Ulrich here, second rounder, Hoglander. Again, Hog's getting thrown around the weight here a little bit. And Mancini for Shane Pinto. All right, so Pinto is an interesting name because I've been talking about him quite a bit. I actually really like Pinto. I think he's real solid. I think he's a really good young player, and he has potential to be at second line center. So I look at this deal, and, you know, Mancini's good, and Hoglander has potential too. You know what? As a second line center option, as a gamble, I think I would do this trade. I know a lot of people would probably think I'm a little crazy here just because you're giving up, you know, two really good young players. But Shane Pinto, if you believe in him and he can be a 70-point second line or 60, 70-point second line center, then I say you bite the bullet. I don't think this is that bad at all. And we have a surplus of, you know, defensemen. So losing Mancini is not the end of the world. With Willander there as well, you still get to keep Willander. And Hoglander obviously is a tough name to lose, but you got to give up something to get something, right? So I like that deal. That's an interesting one, Zach. Ivy, Hoglander. Poor Hoglander. What has Hoglander done to you guys? Please don't trade him. At least she mentioned that. Please don't trade him, so that's good. Carlson Mancini once again. I think I'm seeing a pattern. A second and a fourth rounder for Zacha. So you're not giving up that first. You're giving up a second and a fourth. A Carlson who's going to be playing as our probably third or fourth line left winger this year. You have Mancini, again, right-handed defenseman, and Hoglander. So, like, you're losing potential for a quick fix. Zacha's probably signed for a little bit longer. He's just kind of in that middle range. I think we're giving up a bit too much for Zacha personally, so I'm just going to pass on this. If it was something just like Mancini and Hoglander, I would think about it. Even that seems kind of heavy for Zacha, who's, you know, he's played with some real good players and hasn't put up a crazy ton of points, but he is big and he has size and he's good defensively as well. It's an interesting proposal. I would say I'm going to pass on this one. Oh, here we go. McTavish, the guy who I've been begging for God knows how long. For Hito, once again, I guess it's mostly for cap reasons. I think people are putting him in here. I think that would make more sense. Our first rounder this year, Coots, a 2026 first rounder. It has to mention if it's unprotected or not. DPD and a third round pick. Oh my God. So right off the bat, I would say no. I am a big fan of McTavish, but I'm also a massive fan of DPD. Losing DPD and Coots and whoever we draft in this massive draft this year, potentially even unprotected, is just too much for me personally. So I would have to go and pass on this one. I do think McTavish is the person you should target, but that's giving up a tad too much in my opinion. Makeem, I have a few mock trades. This is for the summer of 2026, and Hughes will be traded with an extension, and only if he refuses to stay in Vancouver. So he's saying, you know, Quinn's leaving. What are we going to get back for him? Well, he's saying Nico Hischier, Simon Nemec, I always say his name wrong, a 2027 first-round draft pick, fourth rounder, and a 2029 first-round draft pick. All right, so there's a lot of, I'm sorry, there's a lot of, like, not problems with this, but losing, okay, first of all, if he's going to be going to New Jersey and they know he's going to go there because he's not staying in Vancouver and everybody knows he's going to go with family, that means it's going to reduce his trade value significantly. So you're not going to get Nico Hischier for him. I know that sounds painful to say, but you're not going to get Nico Hischier. Now, the rest of the package together is possible, but you're losing futures and you're upgrading. You're downgrading drastically. Now you are saving a ton of cap, which is going to be used for other players, which is important to mention in this trade. But I just with Hischier there, I think there's no chance. There's just too much there. And I understand the stipulations you meant, but I just think there's just a little bit too much there. So I don't see New Jersey going out and doing this. So, and he did mention that it's picks top 10 protected, obviously what happened in the summer of 2027. So he did mention it was a protected 2027. Sorry, first, it's 27. Oh, I see. The picks are top 10 protected. Okay. So, but still, I would still probably pass on that. I think New Jersey would probably pass on that, but Vancouver would obviously do it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope Victoria is satisfied. I hope you guys have a lovely day.